What's going to be the next liberal catastrophe that Mark Carney has to bestow upon its own people to make it look like Orange Man is even badder than the elbows up type thought he was? Mark Carney's just coming back off his world tour. China, Qatar, and his crown jewel, Davos, Switzerland. He went into China, and I would say that was a nothing burger. The only thing I can say from a positive standpoint there was the reduction in seed oil tariffs for Scott Moe and the people of Saskatchewan. That was a win. I'm thinking. I don't know. Everything else that Carney did there, I'm thinking was detrimental to Canada. The 49,000 EVs that are coming into Canada per year, and after 5 years, 70 or 75,000. That's going to completely finish off. It'll be the coup d'etat for our automotive industry in Canada, if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen. So he goes over there to make it look like he's aligning with a tyrannical communist country that has deplorable human rights record in China. They are the largest polluters on the planet by far. But then Carney, on the other hand, will promote his Green New scam, his net zero scam, but dealing with the largest, it is the largest polluter in the world. He wants to do business with them. He wants to do business with people that kill their own citizens. He wants to do business with a country that kidnapped two of our citizens and held them for over 1,000 days, the two Michaels. So he went over there and he tried to become or tried to portray his buddy-buddy relationship with China. And the main takeaway from that meeting over there was the New World Order speech that he gave. Now, it's not new for a world leader to say those words. It is new for him to say it in a public forum. And what that did, that put his EU and WEF handlers at ease, knowing that publicly he took the top position in the global World Economic Forum, the global mantra to China. And basically, he wanted to get that message out, obviously, so the people in Canada could see that, the rest of the world, and Donald Trump and the U.S. Okay, so Mark Carney is the big tough guy that is spearheading globalism. Okay, we get it. We all knew that anyways. He's not Canadian, never wears a Canadian lapel pin, always goes around with his Order of Canada pin. No one knows what that is outside of Canada. And even most people in Canada don't know what that is, because most people in Canada have only been in Canada for 2 weeks. So no one knows what the fuck that is anyways. But what people do know, it's not a Canadian flag. People do know that. So he goes from China, he goes to Qatar. From Qatar, he goes to Davos, where he couldn't wait to do his 20-minute speech on Tuesday. Today is Thursday in Toronto. He did a speech on Tuesday, which I watched live. I've already done a video on it, but I'll just touch on it and recap it again. He went in there, and by all accounts now, he plagiarized some of his speech. But basically, it was a high-level linguistic circus to appease the people in his crowd, in that crowd watching his speech. The 500 or so people in the crowd, all the beta males there, sitting with their legs crossed just like him. Well, he was standing, but how he usually sits. They sucked all that up, because they know they are looking at the new Klaus Schwab. They are looking at the new face of George Soros, the Fourth Reich, the true Nazis. Not guys like me that are perceived to be white supremacists, Nazis, white nationalists, right-wing extremists. No. That's Mark Carney. That isn't guys like me. I'm not a cult leader like I've been accused of being. My last video, some lady got on the wrong channel, and she thought she was on some sort of liberal channel, and she called me a cult leader because I called her a dummy. Yeah, no, I don't got a cult following me. I walk around the streets and in parks by myself feeding dogs. So yeah, so I'm not a cult leader. Mark Carney has a worldwide cult following, and a huge one here in Canada, that have such vitriol and Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, that they will literally listen to a rock spew nonsense as long as they perceive it to be a safeguard against Donald Trump, the Orange Man, coming up to Canada and gobbling all of Canada up. I got news for you. Canada's already been gobbled up between the United States and China. Completely gobbled up. 75% of our gross domestic product is shipped to the U.S. 75% of our everything we make in Canada goes south, and 25% to the rest of the world. So the United States has unofficially owned Canada for several decades. Okay, Donald Trump. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up with Mark Carney's speech. So he goes and he says all this, you know, like I said, it's a linguistic circus. He baffles everyone's minds that have a tough time with the English language. He didn't speak in French, which I'll give him credit for. I'm not taking anything away from French-speaking people, but he didn't speak in French. He wanted to get his point across in English. So they give him a standing ovation. The next day, Trump comes in, lands with Marine One, his Marine Black Hawk helicopter. They roll out the red carpet. He comes in. He does an hour and 45-minute speech. Now, his speech is talking like I'm talking. Okay, he went on for 20 minutes, patted himself on the back. We knew he was going to do that. But and I've already done a video on that speech. So I'm just going to, two things I'm going to take away from that speech. One is his focus on Greenland, and two, he told Carney to shut his mouth when he was talking to him. More or less, check yourself, Carney, because without me, you're nothing. Now, the elbows up type that inadvertently or accidentally come across my channel and get to this part of the video, they're going to say, well, you know, Dewey, you're not a true patriot, a true Canadian. You know, only turncoat maple MAGAs or people that wish they were more American than Canadian will talk like that. I can assure you, I'm a proud Canadian, but I'm not a fucking delusional idiot that thinks he's going to go pick up his grandfather's pheasant gun and go start blasting Marines coming across the border or landing on my roof with sophisticated weapons. It isn't going to happen. Trump isn't going to militarily invade Canada. He won't do that. That's not going to happen. So all you libtards, you leftists, you people with TDS, you don't necessarily want your grandfather's pheasant gun or whatever guns that Carney and the Liberals are trying to seize. You don't want them to defend yourself against the U.S. You want those weapons to shoot people like me, and everyone knows that. I'm telling you right now, if you see what these deranged Karens and beta feminized males do at these protests, because I've been there, I've seen it. They will throw feces on you. So you imagine giving them a weapon? They will easily shoot you. You have countless videos out with regards to what happened in Minneapolis when they shot that lesbian in the face, that deranged lesbian. There are hundreds of videos out there now with women going to the gun range, sitting in their car doing videos saying that they're showing, you know, the paper targets, showing their groupings. So they are telling you to your face that they are willing to shoot you. So that's why all of a sudden these civilians, the civilian army wants guns. The United States isn't going to invade us. Donald Trump isn't going to come up here. You're not going to get a clear shot at Donald Trump. That's not the way it works. So I went off on a bit of a tangent there. Let me reel myself in. I get emotionally charged. So Donald Trump touches on Mark Carney. Check yourself. Donald Trump says if Greenland doesn't agree to becoming United States territory, he will not forget that. But if they do agree to becoming United States territory, he will forever be indebted to them. As I'm doing this video right now, the U.S. is putting the final touches on the agreement to relinquish Greenland to the United States. He arranged the agreement with the United Nations president and the president of Denmark. And I knew he was going to get Greenland. It's going ahead. So Greenland is going to be in the possession of the United States today or tomorrow officially. Now, people have said to me, Dewey, there's no way that the EU will allow Canada to become a 51st state type scenario with the United States. And I say to people that the EU said that about Greenland. Today, Greenland, or tomorrow, Greenland is going to be officially part of the United States. Now, over the past decade, Justin Trudeau has weakened Canada to the point where we are easy prey for pretty much any country in the world to come in and do whatever they want here from a military standpoint. If it wasn't for the United States, we would have been militarily invaded a long time ago. China has done a very good job with entrenching themselves on Canadian soil for the last 30, 40 years. And I'm not saying it's all Trudeau's fault with regards to that too. Harper had some doings with that. Chrétien has. So I'm not saying it was all Trudeau. And that's about as good as a compliment I'm going to give him. And Carney. But what's going to happen? Canada is going to continue to descend because Mark Carney is a manager of decline. He was put in place to manage Canada to hand off the United States. Most of Mark Carney's financial holdings and his handlers' holdings are in the United States. Mark Carney has a huge vested interest in seeing the United States succeed, far greater than Canada. Okay, remember the guy that doesn't wear the fucking Canada flag? He doesn't give a shit. But soon as, I'm going to tell you something, as soon as the United States officially announces that Canada is their territory, you'll see that little lizard put a U.S. lapel pin on. You'll see that. So this is all smoke and mirrors. He has the liberal sheep in this country so far duped that they will never admit they're wrong, but they will do it. They will transfer the keys in such a fashion to make Mark Carney look like he had no choice. He was bullied. That is a word that weak people and liberals like using, is the word bully. I hate using that fucking word, but I'm using it for this pretext. So Mark Carney has to save face. He has to go to all his confused liberal voter base, the people that are thinking that if the United States come up here with a conservative government or Canada installs a conservative government, that their little weirdo kid won't be allowed to use the litter box to go to the washroom. No, that's not the way it's going to work. You can still have your same-sex marriages. You can still have your kid your boy putting lipstick on in the closet, using the litter box to go potty because it's a furry. Don't worry, we don't care about that. We really don't. Keep that in the confines of your house and let the teachers deal with that, because that's what that is too. The teachers sign up for that shit. They got to deal with that. And the rest of us sane, critical thinking people don't really want to deal with your internal problems at home. If you're a cross-dresser, if you like women, if you're in a same-sex marriage, you're in a homosexual marriage, we don't care about that shit. Keep going with that. All the power to you. It's your choice. So, people that are deemed on the like a fringe minority or marginalized people, they always revert back to something from a violent standpoint is going to happen to them. That's not the case. If we were a completely Muslim country, I would say start fearing for your life, because 100% they will be tossing you off buildings. And is that propaganda? Is that false? Is that fake news? No, it's not fake news. Okay, that's the way it is. Now, the world has changed, and it has changed for the worst. I never thought in my time on this planet that I would even be considering the United States as being the governing party over Canada. Never did I think that. I honestly didn't. And I honestly don't want that to happen. But, you can point out Trudeau, you can point out Carney and say, well, they're the ones that did it. And yes, they are the ones that did it. But they were the ones handpicked to do it. They knew what they had to do when they signed up for it. They knew that. That was their job. That was their mandate. Collapse this fucking country until there's nothing left of it, until a guy like Donald Trump comes with a little whisk and dustpan and sweeps it up. Now he's going to be the savior. Mark Carney is going to go back to wherever he's got one of his 15 houses in Europe, a castle somewhere in Ireland. He has an Irish passport, a UK passport, and a Canadian passport. And I'm sure it wouldn't take much for him to get a US passport. That would just be filling out some papers, and here you go. Here's for your years of service giving Canada to the US. Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, Anthony Albanese, they are all part of that club. They are all deviants. At one level or another, they are all cut from that same cloth. They are all in this together. They've collapsed their countries. They have put in draconian speech laws. 12,000 people a year getting arrested in the UK for doing a video like this. Should I be arrested or shot for a video like this? A lot of you out there on the left think I should. I know that. They want me to wear an N95 mask for some fabricated COVID thing. They want me to go stand on a dot 6 feet apart because that's compliance. Because they are the sheep that want to be forced to be told what to do. Not even forced. They have no other direction other than to wait to be told what to do. Okay? Looking out your blinds, calling during COVID, calling the cops on your neighbors because they had a gathering of more than 6 people. Those type of people. Calling the cops on kids playing, well, they don't play road hockey much anymore, but you know, your neighbor's dog went to the washroom on your lawn, you call the police. Those type of people. They are the ones that are propping a Mark Carney type person up because they can identify with a Mark Carney, a little weakling, beta cuck. And that's why he was installed to do what he's doing to Canada, because a Pierre Poilievre wouldn't have gone along with this. So you can say what you want about Pierre Poilievre. He's a narcissist. He's a man-child. He only brings problems. He never brings solutions. The fucking guy makes sense to me. He's got an attractive wife. He's got one kid that I hear has special needs as well. I don't know if he has two kids. I really don't. I think he does, but I think one's non-communicative. One can't speak. And, you know, he brings a message of hope. He brings a message that, you know, maybe the young generation can own a home in Canada. Okay? People that are defending what the Liberals have done the last 10 years, they are in a situation where it hasn't affected them from a financial standpoint because their house is paid for, or they're living in a tent and addicted to free drugs. There's no in between. You're either up here or you're living in a tent hooked on fentanyl. That's who backs the Liberals in this country. And the perceived marginalized people, the LGBT community, the Indigenous community, the furry community, the anime community. All those people gravitate towards liberal ideologies because they think, because they're so special, that they need protection from people like me. No, you don't need fucking protection from people like me. I don't give a shit about you. Just, you know, when you're wearing your fur outfit, I'm at the next booth over in a restaurant. Try not to get any of your fake fur into my fucking soup. That's all I give a shit about. You can act like a nutter all you want. Just don't instill or try to force it on other people. That's all we give a shit about. Okay, so I want to finish the video up. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States. She apparently has made one or two arrests with the people that invaded that church, the terroristic maneuver down in Minneapolis. I know one black lady for sure. One of the organizers got arrested. Now, that bitch, Donna Lamone, that race grifter that hates white men but has a white husband, he hasn't been arrested yet because he's claiming that it was his right to be there as a journalist. But no. They have to arrest Donna Lamone, and they have to arrest that white nutter that is a paid provocateur. They have to arrest him too, and whoever else was there. If there was 20 people that stormed into that church during worship, arrest them all. Arrest them all. They rounded up 1,600 people from January 6th and threw them all in jail without a trial. Some did like 2 years in jail for just even being there, not even going into the Capitol building. So, listen, Trump, party's over in Davos. You got Greenland. Unofficially, you already own Canada. People that have any sort of critical thought know that. You'll get around to getting the keys officially handed to you. Trust me, Carney's going to lay those out on a silver tray. World Economic Forum engraved silver platter. Don't worry, you're getting those keys. They're coming. Now start fixing your country with your drug problems, your left-wing lunacy problems you got down there. People walking around with AR-15s threatening to shoot federal agents. Because when you do officially take Canada over, we don't want that shit up here. We don't want we already got our fentanyl problem, but we don't have a citizen problem carrying guns around. And just because we are a gun-loving nation, don't get me wrong, and a lot of legal guns are owned here. Our laws are strict. We don't have open carry laws in Canada. So you can't, even if you are a legal gun owner, you can't walk around with an open carry or concealed carry gun in Canada. And I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. If that changes once the United States officially takes us over, I'll be cool with that too. I'll be the first one out in line getting my paperwork to carry as many guns as I can carry. That's the honest to God's truth. But until that day, it's illegal to do so. Only illegal gangbangers, 13-year-old Somali gangbangers that get guns from people coming across, they're the only ones that can carry handguns in the city. So, anyhow, Trump's got to do something to make his country better before he can say he wants to make Canada better. Thanks for watching. Got any questions, comments, or concerns, put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.